Good morning, students. Today we are going to talk about the programs which you need to work upon. And there were certain queries that most of the students were finding it very difficult to write these programs. So let us go through these programs one more time. So today we are going to discuss five of those programs which were initially given to you, and we are going to make use of scanner class. Now before I start with the actual program, you should be knowing that scanner class is actually a predefined class in the Java library. Now a predefined class, it is to make our program easy. We can always include the scanner class in our own program so that we can take the input easily. Like there are certain predefined methods of scanner class. You must have used it in the initial programs given, like next int was used, next double was used. So these methods are the methods of scanner class which can be used in our own program in order to take the input from the user at the time of execution. So let us start with the first program. The first program, like you can see on the screen, is to take three integer values from the user at the runtime and then find the largest among them. So if you see the first line here, students, it is the import statement. Now the import statement is actually used to take the Scanner class into your own program. So how to do it? The syntax of writing the statement is import, then a space is there, java.util.scanner. Remember, the first letter of scanner is in uppercase. Now remember, Java is case sensitive. If you make error in writing the lowercase uppercase thing, then there will be problem and the program will not be compiled properly. Okay, then after this import statement, once the scanner class is included, we are declaring the class name. So it is class and the name, an appropriate name for the same. Because this is the first program, I have written it as prog1, that means program number 1. So we start with the body of the class, wherein I am declaring the main method. So it is public static void main, and the body of the main method starts in. The first statement inside the main method is to create an object of the scanner class. How to do it? The syntax of creating an object of any class is the same. You are going to write the class name followed by the object name equal to, we are going to use the new keyword, then the class name again, and we write system.in within the parenthesis, as we are going to take the input, so you can understand .in as the input. So how I am doing it? It is scanner as the class name, SC, the first two letters I have taken. You can take any appropriate name for the object, equal to new scanner system.in within the parenthesis and a semicolon. So what happened in this statement is we created an object of the scanner class. In the next line, if you see, we have taken three variables of integer type, that is a, b and c. And in the next line, another variable gr is taken, which is going to store the greatest value or the largest value. Then remember one more thing, when we are taking the input using the scanner class, the input is directly taken on the terminal window. So before you take the input, you have to tell the user that what sort of value the user has to enter. So you have to display a particular message. So this is what has been done in the next statement. It is system.out.println, enter three integer numbers. That means we are going to tell the user on the terminal window that the user has to enter three numbers which are integers. So we are going to use the method of the scanner class. In order to use the method of scanner class, you have to use the object name. That's why we have created the object of the scanner class. So how do we do it? We are initializing the value of a, b and c by taking the input from the user. So a is equal to sc.nextInt. Remember, nextInt is a predefined method. It is a method of scanner class, and in order to use the method of the scanner class, we have to use the object of the scanner class. So this is how we call the method. We use the method of scanner class. So a is equal to sc.nextInt. What will happen because of it? The on the terminal window, it will be asked to enter an integer value, and that value will be stored in a. Similarly for b and similarly for c. Now we are going to use a conditional statement wherein I am checking if a is greater than b and at the same time a is greater than c. That means out of the three values, a is the greatest. So that's why gr will be equal to a. But what if this is false? Then I am again checking if b is greater than a and at the same time b is greater than c, then actually greater value is b. So gr is equal to b. And if none of the condition is true, else will work where I am going to initialize gr variable as c, because in that situation c will be the greatest. And then finally I'm going to display the largest number is whatever is the value stored in gr, either a, b or c according to the condition. And this is how the program will be executed and you will get the result. Let us see the output, how it will come. So if you see the terminal window here, the user is asked by the message that he has to enter three integer numbers. So any three numbers can be entered by the user. Here I have entered 5, 1 and 8. So the largest number is 8, and that happened because of the program. The conditions were checked and accordingly 8 was displayed as the largest value. Now in the second program here we have to take a letter of English alphabet from the user at the runtime, and then we have to display whether the entered letter is in uppercase or lowercase. So again, if you see, I have included scanner class. Now this is another way of doing it. I have written the import statement as the first line, import space java.util.asterisk. Now remember, Java is a sort of package. It is a kind of folder in the Java library wherein we have a sub package or a subfolder called utility, util, and then under the subfolder we have number of different classes stored, and one of the classes scanner. If I am going to use asterisk, that means all the classes will be included. So I am indirectly importing all the classes of the utility package. One of them is scanner, so scanner is also included. So import space java.util.asterisk will also import or include the scanner class into our program. Then the class declaration as program number 2, public static void main, and the body of the main method starts. Again, I have created the object of the scanner class. I hope you have understood that in order to call the method of the scanner class, in order to use the method of scanner class, you have to create an object, because without the object you cannot use the method. Then a message is displayed on the terminal window asking the user to enter a letter of English alphabet. Then, because a letter will be entered, you have to use the data type char. Remember, char is one of the primitive data type which is going to accept one character as the input. So I have taken a variable ch of character type, and how to take the input this time? I have used sc.next. Now next is a function of scanner class. It is a method of the scanner class, but at the same time I am writing dot char at 0. Remember, in scanner class or in Java or in computers, when we are making use of next method of scanner class, it is going to accept a complete word. Now the word will have a number of letters in it, but the letters will be stored according to the index number. That means the first letter will be stored at the location 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. That means there is a continuous allocation of memory. So the first, because it is a single character as an input, so whatever is entered by the user will be entered at the 0 location. So in order to take single character from the user, you have to use this format: sc as the object name, dot next dot char at, and within parenthesis 0. So at the location 0, the letter will be taken. So only one character will be taken as the input, and that input will be stored in the variable ch. Now I am checking the condition. If ch is greater than or equal to character a, this is uppercase A, and ch is less than equal to uppercase z. Now these are uppercases, so automatically if the values lies in between this or including this, then it is an uppercase letter. So I am displaying the message. Otherwise, I am going to check if ch is greater than equal to small a, that means lowercase a, and less than equal to lowercase z, then it is a lowercase letter. So I am going to display it. Otherwise, it is not a letter of English alphabet. So I am going to display it. Let's check the output of this program. So if you see the output here on the terminal window, the user is asked to enter a letter of English. The user has entered S in lowercase. So what is displayed? It is a lowercase letter. So the condition was checked and accordingly the output was displayed. Let us move to the next program, that is program number 3. Herein we are going to accept a number from the user at the runtime and check whether it is a buzz number or not. Now a buzz number is a number which is either completely divisible by 7 or its last digit is 7. For example, 127 has 7 as the last digit, so it is a buzz number. 56 is a multiple of 7, so when I divide 56 by 7, it is completely divisible. The remainder is 0. That's why it is also a buzz number. So either completely divisible by 7 or ending with 7. So again, I'm importing the scanner class into the program, starting with the class declaration followed by the main method. In the main method body, I'm creating an object of the scanner class here. So telling the user what to do, enter an integer number with a message, and the user is entering it with the help of next int function of scanner class. So I've taken a variable num, that is num of integer type, to accept an integer as an input. Now I'm checking the condition if num modulus remainder 10. That means num percent 10 is actually going to divide the number by 10 and will return the remainder if the remainder is 7. Remember, whenever you are going to divide any number with 10, it is going to give you the last digit in it. So if the last digit is 7, for checking the equality we use double equal, or logical or is used. If num percent 7, that means if the remainder after dividing by 7 is 0, either the remainder is 7 or the remainder is 0, then it is a buzz number. So I am going to display it that the given number is a buzz number. Otherwise, it is not a buzz number. So understand it, a buzz number is a number which on divisibility by 7 either gives the remainder 0 or it is ending with 7. How to check whether it is ending by 7? By dividing by 10 and checking the remainder. If the remainder is 7, that means the last digit is 7. So this is what is done in this program. Let us check the output of this program now. If you see the terminal window, the user is asked to enter an integer value, and user has entered 56. So according to the condition, 56 is a buzz number, and we get the output. In the fourth program now, we have to ask the user to enter the marks out of 100 and then increase the marks of the given student according to the conditions. Now, what is the condition? If the marks are less than or equal to 40, then 10 will be added to the original marks. If the marks lie between 40 and 60, then 7 marks will be added. If the marks are lying between 60 and 75, 5 marks will be added, and if the marks are lying between 75 and 90, 3 marks will be added. If the marks are greater than 90, then no change will be done in the marks. So according to the condition, we are going to make modification in the marks of a particular student. So let us start the program using the import statement to include the scanner class in the program. So it is import space java.util.scanner. The syntax remains the same class, so you have to use the same statement to import or to include the scanner class into your own program. The class declaration with an appropriate name, this is program number 4 for me. So public static void main inside the body of the class, and in the body of the main method I am starting with the object creation of the scanner class. And if you see the first statement, the object creation statement, it is also the same. So you can learn this statement and there should be no issues in the syntax. If the syntax is wrong, everything is wrong. Remember one thing, that whenever you are going to create a Java program or any other program in any given computer language, because few of the students have asked this, that we are getting it means difficult, that how to write a program. Now remember, in order to write a program, there are only 2 things you need to remember. First, you should be sure about the syntax. Second, you should be clear with the logic. Logic means like you solve mathematics, similarly you have to create the program. But the syntax is what matters. Do you know what syntax is? Syntax are the rules which governs the formation of statements, the instructions that you are writing in a program. Like you have English grammar, similarly. So the syntax should be clear in your mind. So this is how we create the object of the scanner class. Now, like I have told you earlier, we have to tell the user on the terminal window that what has to be done. So we are displaying a message that enter marks out of 100. So the user is going to enter the marks. The marks will be integer, so I am taking integer type of variable marks, and I am calling the method of the scanner class by using its object sc.nextInt. NextInt method of scanner class takes the input as an integer only. Now I have declared another variable new m of integer type, and I am storing the value entered by the user in it. That means whatever value user has entered is stored in marks as well as in new m. Now I am checking the condition. If marks is less than equal to 40, then new marks will be original marks plus 10 according to the condition which was given in the question. Now if otherwise marks are greater than 40, less than equal to 60, then new m will be equal to original marks plus 7. Otherwise, if the marks are greater than 60 and the marks are less than equal to 75, then we are going to make changes in new m. New m will be original marks plus 5. There's one more thing. If the marks are greater than 75 and the marks are less than equal to 90, then new m will be equal to original marks plus 3. So this is what the condition said in the question. So accordingly, I have framed these conditional statements. If none of the condition above is true, then else will work, wherein new m will be equal to original marks, because no changes will be done if the marks are greater than 90. What will happen after this? I'm going to display the original marks and the new marks using the variables. Original marks will be stored in the variable marks, and new marks according to the modification will be stored in new m, and the program will end. Let's see the output of this program now. On the terminal window, I have asked the user to enter the marks out of 100. The user entered 85. So the original marks are 85, and according to the condition, new marks is 85 plus 3, that is 88, and hence the output. Let us see the next program now, which is program number 5. Here we have to ask the user to enter a number and display whether the given number is negative, it is positive, or 0. The logic is very simple. If the user is entering a number with a minus sign, it is negative. That means if the number is less than 0, it is negative. If it is greater than 0, it is positive, and if it is 0, it is obviously 0. So let us import the scanner class. So the other way of importing scanner class is import space java.util.asterisk. Remember, all the classes of util package will be included. Now class declaration as program 5 and public static void main. I have taken a double type of number this time, double type of variable. Remember, double data type is used to store the fractional values. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. It is the object creation of the scanner class, because without the object you cannot call the method of the scanner class. Then displaying a message on the screen for the user to know what he has to enter. So I am asking the user to enter any number, and this message will be displayed on the terminal window. Num is equal to sc.next double this time, because num was a double type of variable. This time I have called the method next double, which is again a method of scanner class, but it is going to accept a double type of value from the user. That means a fractional value from the user. Checking the condition, if num is less than 0, that means the value entered by the user is less than 0, then I am displaying that the number is negative. If otherwise num is greater than 0, then it is a positive number, and if none of the condition is true, that means the number itself is 0. I hope you have understood the logic. If the number is less than 0, it is negative. If it is greater than 0, it is positive, and if none of the condition is true, obviously it is 0. Let us see the output of it. So on the terminal window, I have asked the user to enter a number. The user has entered minus 3. So what happened? The value displayed is minus 3.0, because it is a double type of variable I have taken, is a negative number. I hope you have understood the programs this time. Class, remember, programming, do not take it as a very tough thing, because if you are going to be clear with the syntax of the statements, and like I said, the logics are clear in your mind, there's no problem as such in writing the program. Take it easy, go smoothly, and step by step create the programs. But yes, you need to practice the programs on the computer system, and once you are going to bring it in your practice, you will find programming very easy. To add that you practice it on your computer system, and whatever queries you have, you can post them as a comment under the post. Take care. Thank you so much, class.